Race number 2, another sprint, 1200-metre dash here, Class 4 contest, headed by Bond Elegance, dropping back into Class 4 company. Merry Go In, course and distance for the first time for him. Multi-Max will roll from barrier 1. Rich City Fortune's got pace, but a wide gate. Rochford as well, barrier 3, likes to get going. Happy Out There hasn't shown us too much in 4 starts so far. And down to Happy Fiery Dragon, who's a Class 5 distance winner at Shartin. That was in July. Now we've made our way to the touchscreen here for the speed map, Brett, on the second event, because there's quite a bit of pace here, but varying degrees of luck as far as the barriers are concerned. Multi-Max, I suppose, by default from barrier 1, is going to find himself hopefully in front for connections. Yeah, well, Multi-Max, as you've highlighted there, Andrew, number 4, and also Rich City Fortune here. They're the two sort of noted front runners, aren't they? Happy Fiery Dragon, another horse that can be handy. Secret Agents drawn low, can try and sit close. Getting the drop in class is Bond Elegance, another one that I think could potentially try and be in the sort of first 4 or 5. But the two query runners in the race for me, Nice Fandango, horse number 7 here, and this one here, number 2, Merry Go Win, out the back here. Both these horses are young horses that haven't done a lot of racing. Merry Go Win's trialled particularly well at the Valley back in early September. Some of his first starts, he was sort of handy. I'm just not sure what Zach will be trying to do. I sort of tend to think, as Paul and I had a chat before, there's every chance, because there's so much pace, first up, just maybe drop him in, try and get a little bit of cover, and then peel him to the outside. Nice Fandango, on the other hand, is drawn 9. It's very awkward for him, and I just wonder whether or not they might roll the dice and try and get a card over with something. But as you can see, it potentially could be fairly messy, sort of driving into that first corner, unless Multi-Max and Rich City Fortune are able to really burn the others off early and establish a bit of a break. All right, Nice Fandango's come up with barrier 9 and Merry Go In with 12 on the B course. They might get their opportunity, we'll find out. But what have you got for as far as track work's concerned, Paul? Not much. You're going to have a bit of a sprint back. The only one we can really show here is Sangria. The others have done a lot of slow work and everything. Neil Cullen's aboard for this particular piece, as you can see. And gee, the speed maps worked out well here for you to get back to your seats, you boys. And he's going nicely here, Sangria, as well. All right, let's have a look at Bond Elegance. He's won here very impressively. We're not looking at that one in particular, just his 5th. This is his last start effort behind Starlight. I think the form's good. Yeah, he's not the biggest horse, Bond Elegance. He's going to lump the big weight here of 133. There's 2 wins of both off 52. He has been downgraded back into this grade where he did win those 2, to be fair, but just with this big weight, I've got him only in on a place line. I think coming down in class is a lot better for him. This is a decent enough race with Starlight winning that event. So, look, had he have drawn sort of 1 to 4, I would have sort of seriously thought him as a winning chance. But just from the 7, a little bit concerned. But I've certainly got him in the tips. All right, OK. Neil Callan on board. Sorry, Olivia Deleuze on board for John Size. Neil Callan will be on board Sangria. What of his chances? He spoke with Ed Sadler.
Neil, you pick up the ride on Sangria. Best ever performance here in Hong Kong last time out from him. You're jumping onto the right time?
I hope so. You know, he's had a drop in class recently, and his last run he's got very competitive from the back. So I galloped him the other morning, and he's not very big, but he's quite a well-balanced horse, and he's got a lot of speed. So hence, I suppose, why the Valley has brought out the best in him in his last start.
You've also had a bit to do with Merry Go Win. Was it your call, though, to ride Sangria?
No. Merry Go Win, you know, when he first arrived in Hong Kong, I'd done a lot of work with him, and then he kind of clashed with a good horse I was riding, Keep Moving. At the time, I chose the right horse. Keep Moving came out and won, and he's progressed quite well since, which kind of meant that Zach kept the ride on Merry Go Win, and it's been like that ever since. So, you know, things happen in Hong Kong, so you just move on. You're a little bit hoarse this morning. Is that from cheering on Ireland last night in the soccer? That's a good one, Eddie. Ireland done great. Actually, to be fair, it would have been too late for me to stay up and watch, but I was a bit reluctant to open up my Sky Sports app this morning, thinking that Wales were just going to bulldoze them over. But to my surprise, Ireland came out and had a 1-0 win, which was fantastic. It keeps the dream alive for Russia, the World Cup. And they're into a 2-leg playoff now. Whoever they'll play, I don't know, but it's a bit further than where I thought we were going to be yesterday. So it's a great plus.
Well, there you go, into the playoffs now. World Cup's not too far away, but what of Sangria? Good effort last time out behind. Let's go for it.
I'm going to tip him. I just think, as we looked at that speed map, there's potential scramble here for pace, and he'll just sit back, and he really hit the line well last start. Taking some time to come to hand, but he'll get his chance to run over the top again.
Could be the omen tip with those Irish travelling to Russia with the old Sangria, but I've got him in the numbers as well.
More the Guinness than the Sangria.
Yeah, I know. I had to have some sort of link.
Portuguese, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. Whatever happens, or Spanish, whatever happens, they're good travellers, the Irish. But look, I've got him in for second as well, Brett. I think he'll run well.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of trips, you were questioning Nice Fandango, what sort of trip he's going to get in the run. This was his effort finishing third from a more favourable draw, possibly.
He ran better than I thought he would here too. I wasn't overly impressed with his trial leading in, but he ran a nice race. He still carries his head a little bit high, but he's a horse that's obviously got some talent and will get better and better with racing. But yeah, I just don't know where he's going to end up. So I just sort of worked around him. But I wouldn't be surprised, should he get the right run, that he's in the finish.
Yeah, because he's definitely improved from the trial to that, and I think he's proved again. I've got him on a place line, but he has got that tricky draw to overcome.
All right, Neil touched on the merry-go-round of jockeys sometimes. Merry-go-win was the horse he was talking about, and this was the trial that you were talking about as well, Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and he won a really nice trial, this horse, Merry-Go-Win. Look, I think Zach will, as we saw in that speed map, will try and slot him in towards the back. He's won off a rating of 53 before. He's a very consistent horse. He's only had the one start over 1,200 metres, and he won it. And just to show that he looks like he didn't want to change his leg halfway down the straight there. That was an interesting one. But he hit the line quite strongly. I still think he can win, though, but...
Yeah. He was just ambling there, wasn't he, really? I mean, he was hardly touched. For me, he's clearly the best horse going forward in the race, but whether or not he can get it done first up, I'm not sure.
From barrier 12 as well. But you're with him, Paul?
Yeah, I think they'll take him back, let the race unfold in front, because there is a lot of speed in front of him, and then come Whisker down the outside. So I've got him on top to beat Sangria, who has shown a lot of improvement in this horse, and she'll get a nice run, nice Fandango. Just that question mark over the draw, and Bond Elegance, the downgraded horse. But I would box him up in Quinella Paces 2-3-7.
Fair enough. I just went the other way. I'm going to go with Sangria over Merry-Go-Win because there's a lot of pace. I think they'll both close off well. And then Bond Elegance I've got in for third. Confucius Spirit, we touched on at the start of the program, the Frankie Law situation. Here's Confucius Spirit having his first start for Frankie. He was a very consistent horse for David Ferraris. He's come up quite short. In fact, he's early favourite. Karis Teton has been aboard him as long as I can remember, for his last 5 or 6 starts. So he's a very interesting runner, and I'm sure he'll run well, as the market suggests. 3, 2, 1, 11.